Well, welcome back. The Export-Import Bank of the U.S. is profitable for the first time in nearly a decade. The self-financing bank says it's operating at no cost to taxpayers and is on track to repay congressional appropriations. The bank has $135 billion in lending authority, with $57 billion currently committed. That's the highest level of exposure since fiscal year 2018. So for this year, XM has authorized $28 billion in financing, making it its busiest year since 2012. Joining me right now is the president and chairman of the Export-Import Bank, John Jovanovic. John, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations.
Great to be back, Maria.
How did you turn this profitable in such a short amount of time? Tell us.
Well, look, thanks to President Trump's leadership, what we were able to do is come in and reawaken a bunch of great muscle memory that was in a 92-year-old institution. And we didn't just make it a profit center for the American taxpayer. We made it a frontline economic tool to deliver America's reindustrialization. What we're really delivering is American Dream 2.0, right? Whether it's helping American companies win everywhere around the globe, whether it's unleashing America's energy, bringing about supply chain independence, which, thanks to President Trump's leadership, is finally a focus again, or really ushering in a new wave of innovation so American companies can win in the industries of the future. What it really comes down to, Maria, and why this matters to everyday Americans, is that all it means is that we translate it to well-paying jobs across the country, more money in people's pocket. That's what the president promised. That's what we're delivering.
Yeah, and it's also an opportunity for you to play out the president's agenda. I mean, all of the things that you've been able to do, supply chain security, innovative tech, energy exports, you've got your hand in all of these things. And this, of course, is furthering President Trump's agenda.
Well, what the president's done is what nobody thought possible. President Trump is resurrecting critical industries across America, from steelmaking to cutting-edge innovation. And so, you know, it isn't just the big industries of the past that people think about. It's really companies like K2 Satellite, which we visited last month. They're making large payload satellites, again, in America, fully integrated, AI-powered advanced manufacturing. Or Jet Zero, which is trying to innovate and make a blended wing plane for the first time ever, anywhere in the world. They're going to do that in Greensboro, North Carolina. These are the stories that need to come to the forefront, because that's what it means. If you and I were to start a business tomorrow, Maria, we can't innovate unless we can manufacture again. If every time we tweak one of our prototypes, we got to send it halfway around the world, we're never going to be able to compete. We're never going to win. That's what the president understands, and that's why we're so focused on bringing advanced manufacturing back to America.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible to me that bringing manufacturing back to America, we're talking about this now with President Trump, and prior presidents did not actually zero in on the fact that we cannot rely on our adversaries for things like prescription drugs or semiconductor chips. Your active deal pipeline, meanwhile, now topping $71 billion, the potential to support tens of thousands of American jobs as well. Tell me about that pipeline and how you make the decisions in terms of what to support.
Well, what's great about us is that we have overwhelming amount of demand for our product, thanks to what the president's done to not just resurrect these industries, but make all this possible again. And so what we do is we apply the same rigorous process to make sure that the taxpayer dollars we put to work aren't just returned, but that they earn a profit for everyday Americans. And so I think there's a big missing sort of piece here, which people oftentimes don't understand, is that 90% of what we do, Maria, is actually support small, medium-sized companies, which makes sense because 95+% of companies in America are actually small, medium-sized businesses. So a great example, 6K Additive, a great company just outside of Pittsburgh. And we do these factory floor Fridays, Maria. So every Friday we could showcase another factory that we visited across the country. Today we're focusing on 6K. This is a historic opportunity where it's actually the first deal I did as chairman. We partnered with the Department of War to rescue an additives business in Western PA. This is a critical component without which a lot of the advanced manufacturing doesn't happen. And these are areas where presidents encourage us not just to think about the box, outside the box, but to deliver for the American people.
Yeah, I mean, with tariffs reshaping global trade, are you seeing more companies right now seeking to export from the United States?
What we're seeing is a massive investment boom. people wanting to build in America, manufacture in America, thanks to the president's economic approach. But what the president's doing is doing it in a way that protects working class families. So it's not just creating the jobs, it's great initiatives like the Ratepayer Protection Plan, which basically makes sure that as we build out these massive new facilities across the country, that we protect working class families so they don't pick up the bill. It's a balanced approach that makes sure that we have the well-paying jobs, people have more money in their pocket, and we're able to deliver on innovation in the future.
John, what about the AI race? I mean, we've been talking all morning and every day, it seems like this enormous amount of money being spent on AI with data centers, electrical infrastructure. Is XM becoming part of that build-out strategy right now?
It's a big focus of ours, Maria, on two fronts. Number one, we want to make sure that global AI exports are American and that American companies and American providers can compete. So thanks to the president's executive order on AI exports, XM has totally reshaped our approach to it. But also domestically, there's a tremendous amount of not just critical industry, but energy infrastructure that needs to be built. But again, it's important to have it happen in a balanced way. President is focused on common sense guardrails for AI. But again, the Ratepayer Protection Pledge is so important because it protects those working class families and makes sure that everybody benefits.
Yeah, and real quick, John, before we go, also part of that manufacturing and the president's agenda and AI is that need for all these critical rare earth minerals. And I know you've also done a lot with Project Vault. The president is trying to secure all of these minerals at home, so we're not reliant on China for rare earths. Can you give us an update?
Yeah, what we're doing is an all-the-government approach to make sure that American companies, large and small, have what they need when they need it most. It's not just Project Vault. There are plenty of other supply chain independence initiatives soon to come, and we'd love to come back and talk about them.
All right, John, we will look forward to that. Thanks very much for being here this morning. John Jovanovic, we will see you soon. Stay with us. We'll be right back.